Oh, that's so much better. Although it looks like I'm like the sun is in my room. Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, hello, hello. I see someone's here. Whoever you are. I'm not sure if Fiber Hearts is still going. I just figured I would go. I don't know the whole schedule yet. I have to hit up Granny D. So I have a new camera, guys. So I never look at the camera. I'm always a mess. Hi, Deborah. It's the frog, right? It cracks me up. How are you tonight? Happy Friday. And my beverage. That would be Diet Cherry 7-Up. But anyways, so I got a new camera. And hey, honey. Hello. Everybody meet my daughter. It's Victoria Patnode in the comments. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Janet. All is well. Just having a quiet Friday night. I figured I would jump on because I got a bunch of Happy Mail and stuff. Yeah, it's working pretty well. It looks like it to me. It's unfortunately, I need to figure out the lighting still, whatever. 95? Oh, geez. Yeah, it's been in the 90s here for like, I don't know, a week or something. We have the ACs running. I asked Dave today, like, when's the next time we can open the windows? Because I have a love-hate relationship with it, honestly. Because as soon as we open the windows, Janet, she is such a support. Hi, Cynthia. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, I want to open the windows, but the pollen, man, is terrible. But at the same time, when the ACs are running for this long, like my sinuses get really dry. Fairy hunt, yes. It was a lot of fun. I think there's going to be another one next year. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody puts together something for that because everybody had such a good time. But yeah, Deborah, it's been like in the 90s here for like a week, and I asked Dave today, like, when's the next time we can open the windows? And I think Tuesday. It's going to be like 90 for like, I don't know, 2 weeks, and then it's going to be 73, which is perfect for me. So I have so much stuff to show. Like I did a quick little live the other night. What was it? Last Sunday. Oh, nice. Look at my ends, guys. Those are looking nice, huh? It's a little bit. That is a little bit, honestly. I like to joke and put up pictures of who was the dude? Gene Wilder in Young Frankenstein. Like I send my best friend pictures of me. And it's not pictures of me, it's pictures of him. She's a hairdresser. And I just send her pictures and say, this is how I look. And we laugh. But I actually almost have that thing going today. Anyways, what was I saying? I've completely forgotten. Oh, we can open the windows on Tuesday. It's going to be 73, which I like. Okay, what else did I say? Perimenopause brain. It's just like gone. It was a crazy day for me. I left my house for the first time to do something other than pick up food. And I've not actually gone into the store. I just keep doing grocery pickup because I can. I'm lucky enough to have that option. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Janet. That's nice of you to say. I love Gene Wilder, so I'm not trying to be rude. But my hair gets really wispy the curls, and they gets like super frizzy. And oh my gosh, those days. I went out today, guys, and I went to, of all places, like the place that I have dreaded having to go to since the whole Rona. I think we've been calling it Rona around here. I went to the doctor's. Ugh. So I went and I had my knees looked at and stuff. And so I'm going to go back next week because my appointment was so late in the day that by the time I got out from talking to my doctor, the lab was closed. And so I couldn't get my blood work done. So I have to go back next week and get some blood work done. And then we're going to see what's going on. You pay $150 for curls like mine? Oh, you know, I used to tell my daughter all the time, she had straight hair when she was little, and she used to say, I wish I had curly hair. And I used to say, you should be careful what you wish for, because everybody with curly hair wishes they had straight hair, and everybody with straight hair wishes they had curly hair until they get it. And then you realize what a giant pain in the butt. But thank you. It's very nice that you say that. I appreciate it. It's very shiny this evening, although it's probably because I showered before I went out and then I showered again when I got home. That's awesome that you love your curls. Yeah, I mean, I have days where I like it when it's being particularly nice, but I'm really rocking this thing that's happening. Like, I don't mind it, but there's a lot of gray coming in, on the sides especially. I don't know. Yeah, you can see that. I mean, that's just so. I thought about dyeing it, but I don't think I'm gonna. But anyways, so I went to the doctor's office and I had my knees looked at, and I said, hey, doc, give me some antidepressants, give me some drugs, because the world is crazy and I think I could use a little bit of assistance. You finished! Actually. All the wisdom we have. Yep. And I got my mammogram. So it is very important. I am making my mammogram statement. Squash all the boobies, guys. Make sure you get your mammograms done. It's very important. It was the only thing that like actually made me leave the house. And I got to tell you, it was hard, guys, because even with masks on, and they're scheduling the mammograms a half an hour apart, and the technician is wiping down the whole dressing area, and then the machine, all of the paddles, her mouse, her everything in between each test. But still, right here, you know what I mean? Right there. And I came home, I was like telling Dave, and we actually, one of our friends had come over and was having like a social distancing chat with Dave. And I got home and I was telling him, I was like, I was so like, do you have to be this close to me? And and I did say to her too, I was like, it bugs me that you're this close to me. Like, and she said, well, I have to be this close to you to reach your breast. And I did, guys. I said, look, I'm 46. They're pretty long. You can't. And she and I, we had a good laugh, and that just made it better. It just made it more like it was just a human moment with another person where we were both uncomfortable, and it was really great. It's about as good as you can hope for in a mammogram anyways. But I have really lucked out. The people that they have at the place that I go, they're very skilled, and I have never had one of them actually hurt me yet. So that is good. But I came home to Happy Yarn, and I thought that I would share it with you guys. So, and I actually wanted to show you guys because that's what I was talking about. See, perimenopause brain. I did that quick live earlier in the week, and I was using my laptop camera, and it was horrible. And so I wanted to show you guys the yarn that I had dyed so that you can actually see it. There's light and you can actually see it. It's better camera. So I figured I would show you guys that, but I also got something in the mail that I had ordered a long time ago, and I was really excited to get it. I don't know how many of you are sewers or just crocheters or whatever. And hopefully, I hope that, I hope nobody is offended by this, because some people have been. And I guess it's not offensive to me. So just warning. I belong to a group called Badass Quilter Society. And it is a group of really great women. And it's run by a super strong, independent woman that I'm lucky enough to have friends with. We do have to find the humor, Janet, right? I mean, we just do. But anyways, I'm lucky enough to be friends with her and stuff. And so I appreciated Badass Quilter Society when I first started to quilt, because I found that I was having trouble fitting in to traditional sewing groups. There weren't a lot in my area, and most of them, really all of the members were older ladies, and we didn't have anything in common. And there is a tendency, I think, in any craft, that when newbies come in and they make mistakes, it can be difficult to give them assistance in learning without coming off like the project police. And so I was really struggling to find anywhere to fit in. And because I needed to be able to talk. You know what it's like, guys. You have to be able to talk to your crafting buddies about your crafting. That's the whole purpose. And so I ended up stumbling upon Badass Quilter Society, and I've been a member for years, and I love them. But so she has merchandise that she puts out, and I had ordered this, and it was a special thing where she was only making as many as she had orders for. So I forgot I had ordered it, because it's been a while, because they had to be made. But it is a needle minder. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see what it says. Nobody likes a little prick. And it's got the magnets on the back. I love her stuff. And then in the package was a little thing for your crafting room. Do not disturb. Badass Quilter at work. So I have a hoodie that has it on it. And it's funny, people have stopped me and asked me about it, but I love that group. It was a really welcoming group when I was struggling to find. And it's funny because I have not found the same thing with crochet. It is great, right, Tori? I knew that you would love it. I found the crochet community to be much more kind of accepting of other people's vision and creativity than sewing. And I love sewing, don't get me wrong. And I have met a lot of wonderful people who sew. It certainly is not all of everybody. But I have found like the Yarny world to be way less judgmental, which is good. And I'm hoping that just continues, because nobody needs that. But anyway, so I got so much stuff to show you guys. But first, let's start with the yarn that I dyed, because I'm really proud of it. I think it came out great. It's all of the ones that I'm selling are listed in the shop. So, it's the Etsy shop. I don't know if the link's in the description on this, but it's all over my videos. So, and I'll make sure there's a link down below. But so this is one. It's super washed out. Oh my gosh. Like, I cannot catch a break with this yarn. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I move this a little bit. Is that better? Not a lot better. No. Okay. Hey guys, that's actually the color. It's slightly washed out because there's too much, but you can see it. It's way better. There you go. So I'm keeping this one because this is the love of my life of colors. It's been a year since you died, Deborah. Why? I know. I'm reading 6 things at a time. I'm so sorry. Why has it been so long? Did you have to take a break or? Thank you, Cynthia. I love it. It's all the colors I love. Yes, Tori, when at some point we will do this together. Thank you, Julie. And I'm going to keep this one. Again, you can't really see it. But there's like, oh my goodness. I got to figure out my lighting. Okay. So you kind of can get an idea. It's like all sorts of really cool colors in interesting ways. I should just unhang it. It actually, oh, you can actually kind of see it better unhanged. And let me tell you, hanking is hard. I had no idea how hard it would be. But so, yeah, so those are the two that I'm going to keep. I think they're wonderful. But the rest I am selling on the shop. I'll hang that up later. This one, it's oranges and pinks. I love it. It's called Cheery. I named it Cheery because it is very cheerful. But yeah, there's like pinks, orangey pinks in it, and orange, and then bright yellow. And yeah, it's cheery. Thank you. Ooh, right? Oh, Deborah, it's hard when you don't have a group, to be crafty with. It really can detract from like the pleasure of your crafts, I think. Thanks, guys. This is called Rocket Pop. I named it Rocket Pop. Is she here? Was that you, Janet, that remembered the name? Isn't that terrible? I should remember exactly. Guys, my memory is like gone right now. It is so fun, guys. It really is the colors of the Rocket Pop. It does have a little bit of purple, like, because, red and blue. But it totally is Rocket Pop colors too. I'm hoping that like it's not a like faux pas to have named it Rocket Pop. It's not like I'm, who the hell am I? I'm like some chick making yarn in her kitchen. So I can't imagine they would be threatened by my one skein of Rocket Pop yarn, but I don't know. Thank you. I really tried to think about them. This one I had initially made intending to give it the pop cycle. Intending to give it to Tori, but I'm not going to because it didn't come out the color that I wanted it to, but I think I know how to do it. So, but I called it asparagus, and it is like light green to like a darker, a darker like mossy green. It's really interesting. It's pretty. And then there was the blue. It's like a tealish blue. I just called that one Ocean because that's what it made me think of. And then there was this one, which is pinks. It's like a pink to purple gradient. Like my arm is some magic shield, guys. Like here's some purple. Here's a light pink. I wish this color was better. I need to, like, it needs to be sunny in New England at 9:30 on Friday night so that you guys can see the colors on this. Well, what the heck? I'm going to make you one that's like the right color, hon. Bomb Pop. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was a Bomb Pop. But this one I called a Raspberry Sorbet because it actually does have like raspberry tones in it. This right here, I wish you could see. It is so pretty. There are so many different colors of pink there. And I wasn't sure. I had listed them all separately, but I have to say I was really tempted to list them as a trio because they're all the same yarn. This is sock. This is 100% merino. Is it sock or sport? I think it's sport. This one, the Cheery, that one's 100% superwash, and that's a fingering weight. And then Rocket Pop is 75-25 merino nylon. That's also a fingering weight. Yeah, and then the last one I have is this, and I called it Muted. It's a rainbow, but the colors are definitely muted. And so I just called it Muted. I almost called it circus, but I like it. It's interesting, but it's got more brown in it than I had intended. So it bled in weird ways. Hi, Tammy. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, I really am proud of them. I think they were great. I'm going to dye more this weekend. Dave is going to help me in here tomorrow. We're going to move the futon out and into the loft because I just don't have enough room. If you guys could see the other half, I have enough room. I don't have enough space. If you could see the other half of this room, it is horrifying. I can't even stand it. But yeah, well, thank you guys. You guys are being all so sweet about the yarn. I'm glad that you guys like it too. That's gratifying. I felt like they were really pretty, especially for a first time. I had anticipated I would have. Thank you, Tammy. Hi, Judy. I had anticipated that I would have much more trouble. Yeah, it does look like a sunset, Deborah. I almost called it sunset, but then I was like, well, down the road, what if I make one that looks more like a sunset? That was the difficulty with naming them all. So what else? So that was all the yarn that I dyed, but I'm going to dye more this weekend. And then I had gotten an order from Expression Fiber Arts, and I tried to show that to you guys a couple weeks ago, and I also don't think it showed up very well. And it's, so I want to show it to you again, hoping that you guys could see the picture. Yeah, it was my first time, Janet. So I bought one of her kits, and it was like the Elysian. Okay, now you can see these colors. This is all, except this one is not green. It's actually like an icy blue. But the rest are fairly accurate. This is like a purple. This is a lavender color. This is a blue. This is like it's a purpley burgundy. And then this is a medium blue. But this is all mulberry silk. It is amazing. It is so nice. And the sheen on it is crazy gorgeous. And then I got to go with it just 2 white. So it is everything I had hoped for and more. I swear, her yarn is magic yarn. And it is, I don't have the thing, but yeah, it's 218 yards per thing. So what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 4, 1,600 yards. So I don't know what kind of magnificent thing. I don't know, Deborah. That's what I was going to say. I don't know what I'm going to use it on. Whatever it is will be special. That's for sure. It is gorgeous. And that same order, I had gotten this. And that yarn is called Allure. Oh, here's the card for the kit. It was the Elysian Hues. And it was Allure Silk Fingering, 100% mulberry silk, 1,308 yards with just the colors. And then I bought the white separately. So hook B to G. But yeah, so that particular type of yarn is called Allure Fingering yarn. I have never bought anything except, I bought lace, Allure Fingering, and DK, I think, from her. Or no, sock. And that's what this is. This is, yeah, you still can't see it. This really ticks me off. This is gray. It's the gray gradient. It's called Nimbus. You kind of see there's definite striations there. And then this is called Clover. And on the website, it looked more pink than it does here. But I actually really like it. It is kind of a grayish, lavendery pink. Yes, hi Crystal. Her patterns really are beautiful. Did you see the one that came out today, the knitting one? I swear I want to learn to knit just so that I can make some of those shawls that she puts out there. And I know she doesn't design them, but well, maybe she designed some of them. I'm not sure, but like the ones that I have, she wasn't the designer. Oh yeah, she does, because she did like the pineapple shawl, I think. But so I bought those to put together into some sort of a one of her patterns, and I can't remember the name of it at the moment. But I got those. Those were from before, and I got an order in today. So this is why I'm showing you. And first, let me show you. Look, I got the little camel pin. This little camel with a scarf on. Thank you, Cynthia. It is beautiful. It's working. I bought lots of quilting and knitting kits to do what I want to have. So now I have lots of, oh, that's a good idea, Deborah. Honestly, just keep those kits. So this is called Eggshell, and it is the pearlescent fingering weight yarn. This is my favorite yarn that she makes. I have to give me a minute. I have not yet. Hi, Kirst. Hello, Christy. Yes, I'm in that. Yeah, I get it every Friday. Crocheted for years. Yeah, I'm going to learn to knit. I actually got myself a set of Knitter's Pride Zings interchangeables coming. I've been struggling terrible with like the needles that I have because they're awful, because I bought cheap ones to try, and they're like so long and they're just terrible. So I'm waiting for that to come. Anyway, so this is the Eggshell pearlescent fingering, and I already have one of these. So I bought another one, and then I bought this. Look at this, guys. It is called Abyss. It is the most gorgeous black yarn I have ever seen. And I normally avoid black yarn because seeing, but this was so pretty online. And so I'm going to put it together with the two eggshell to make the Renata shawl, I think. It is beautiful yarn. It is truly, like, I'm lucky. I recognize how blessed I am to be able to get it for sure. But, I don't do anything else. And then I got this, guys. This is so pretty. It is called Summer Bliss, and this is her alpaca silk lace. It's 50% baby alpaca, 50% mulberry silk, and there's 604 yards. So this is lace weight, but it is all purples and blues, and there's like a little bit, I didn't even see that green. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh. This stuff is crazy amazing. I'm going to have a live someday, like during the daytime, just so that you guys can see the actual color of these things. This is crazy, but I have this. I got this specifically to go with. It's so pretty. Bonnie Market's class knitting for crochet. Oh, that sounds interesting, Janet. But I have a alpaca silk lace skein already in the color, I think it was called A Quiet Moment. It's a really pretty soft gray. And so I thought I would put it together with this. And I am setting this aside for this lace weight stuff aside for my first knitted expression fiber art shawl. This and the other gray that I already had. So all that yarn goodness, right? I am super excited. And like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with that Elysian Fuse one, but I just wanted it. Isn't that terrible? My gosh, first world problems, right? And then there was some other things. Full disclosure, guys, I'm wearing my jammy pants. We're kind of having a sleepover. Bags. So there are a few bags up on the site, and I'm working, guys, to get more. But I really have been trying to like nail down the actual design that I want for the bags. And I think the zipper bags, sorry, I'm reading. Show swatches in both men. That is interesting. I should look into that. So I have finally settled on a design for the drawstrings. And the reason when I say I settled on it is because I'm not using anybody else's pattern. Like I'm actually coming up with the design. And those first ones that I made that are like tote bags, I think I'm going to continue on. I made this one with one long, one short so that you can do the whole, thing. But I think I'm going to go with 2 longer ones in the future. I just think that is because then people can use it as a tote bag if they want to. And that's just a bonus. But I think I'm going to go, and I'm just using this one as an example because this is the first one that I did that I think is really I'm happy with. And I just want to show it to you guys because I started doing this so that you guys can have fun bags. So here's the pocket. And I think that's what I'm going to do inside of the drawstring ones is these are grommets. And then there's a small pocket on the side for like a hook or knitting needles, a medium, a larger one, and then also again a smaller one for a pencil or whatever. And then on the back we have a ring, and then you can remove it if you want. It is removable. You can just open it for your stitch markers or keys or whatever you want to use this for. And if you want to use this as a purse, you can. So I think I finally settled on the design and I think the sizes, hopefully. So I was excited about that. This one is on the shop. This is the one that I made to finalize the design, and the only thing I'm changing is the handles. So I think that is good. I feel good about that. And some folks have already bought bags. I hope they've. Oh, thank you, Janet. I love it too. I thought it was like the funnest fabric, and the fabric actually sparkles. There's actual and it's not the type that comes off. It's not like if you get this, you're going to be looking like you went to the strip club with, the glitter at all. Yeah, it's super bright and colorful. I love it too. But I love that this fabric actually has like sparkle on it. It's super cute. And then I got vinyl. So we can have some vinyl fronts on some of our bags, like, the zipper bags. But look at all this fabric, guys. And this is like half of it. This is the stuff that has just recently come in. Oh my gosh. We have so much fun bags coming. But look at how fun is that? But I just got some Tula Pink. I don't know how many of you. Oh, look at the kitties. Look at kitties looking at goldfish. I mean, this is pretty. Green and blue. Green. There's some really sweet ones. Oh, this one. I know that there will be some ladies that like the flowers and the little hummingbirds and stuff. It's sweet. But I'm trying to find the Tula Pink. Oh, look at this one, guys. I love this one. I might make myself a bag with this one, too. So retro fun. What, Tori? Which one? All of them? Look at this batik, guys. Look at the colors on that batik. I might have to make a sew together bag with that. So pretty. And there's some snowmen. So we have some Christmas and oh, look at this, guys. How pretty is that fabric? It's like it's watercolor flowers. Oh my gosh. If I could just spend my life just going around. Oh, the kitties, right? Aren't those kitties cute? And picking out fabric. But look at the Tula Pink fabric I got. Oh, look at the rainbow. So great. And also some rainbow hexagons. I tell you, craziness. And then I got a stack. I didn't have enough solids. And so I put in an order, and then while I was there, I grabbed that Tula Pink because I love Tula Pink. But I wanted to show you guys. I was thinking about making some bags with like these as the front panel. Aren't they sweet? But kind of more of like a quilted bag with those. But I just thought they were sweet. I like getting panels sometimes for that. Hi, Judith. Cactus or suck. I have one fabric that is, yeah, it has like a stripe of like purple and like greenish. Good night, Janet. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Christy. Yeah, I have one that has like a strip of succulents that are like in purples and greens, and I can actually take a picture and send it to you, Julie. So I got all those things. So it's been like a week of acquisitions, and then I got my new camera, and that I got because I had 3 Zoom work meetings this week. Oh my God. Just, ugh. Yeah, I'll send you a picture. But yeah, so it's been great. I didn't get anywhere near. I did the Sis Love shawl crochet along this month. I don't know if any of you guys did, but I did. And let me tell you, I didn't come anywhere near finishing. But I think I am going to finish it because 1, I put in a lot of work on it. And 2, I think it actually will be really beautiful. But I cannot wait for the color change. I can't even tell you. So this is where I am now with it. It's wavy on the bottom. I'm hoping that it will be less wavy ultimately, you know. And I'm sure I can block it and all will be well. But yeah, this is the yarn. So these are the colors that are coming. And I'm ready for the colors to change. Like, I'm totally ready. Thank you, Crystal. I'm enjoying it, but it's been a real challenge because it's only a chart. And I like read patterns. I don't use charts. So I knew it would be a challenge when I took it on, but I really liked it. And I like that it's a circle, you know, it's a half circle. Too many whips. I know, I really did kind of say maybe not, but I love Crochet Rosetti's channel. Do you guys watch Tracy? If you don't, you should check her out. She's fun. And I actually, I think one of the first comments I put on her channel, she's from Massachusetts. What yarn did I use? I used a twister, Crystal. It's from Hobie. Come on. Twister. And it is color 4. I'm sorry, that's all they give you. But yeah, I love Crochet Rosetti too, Chrissy. Isn't she so fun? But I think the first time I saw her channel, I said to Dave, I said, okay, there's this woman on YouTube. I said, and I think she's got to be in Massachusetts. And thanks, Julie. And I didn't even think to like look in her description to see if she had a happy mail address. Well, the next time I saw her, I did think to, and she is from Massachusetts. And I had sent her, oh God, that's terrible. I had sent her or commented on one of her videos and told her that she sounded like home because she sounds like my childhood because she does make such, I love that Dynacorn, I think she called it, the Dynacorn she just made. I'm waiting for her to list that on her Etsy shop, and when she does, I think I'm going to nab it for myself. That thing is adorable. Well, if I can nab it for myself. Yeah, she produces some stuff, man. I wish that I could produce as fast as she does. But anyways, she comes from an area, or she's in an area that isn't that far from where I grew up, where I was born and where I grew up. And so if you know people from Massachusetts, you know that they have an accent. And, you know, some areas in Massachusetts more so than others. But I was born and spent years, about 30 minutes maybe north of Boston. No, she didn't sound like you, Julie. Hey, Chris. Yes, her yarn dyeing is beautiful. These yarns that I dyed, I love them, and but hers are like amazing. Uh, she uses the acid dyes too, I think, and I'm using food coloring because I have a respirator though, because I have resin. I pour resin, so I could just use the respirator, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough. But I probably will at some point because I really had fun dyeing the yarn last weekend, and so I'm going to do more this weekend. But yeah, we're going to move the futon out tomorrow, and then I am going to do some rearranging because my cutting table is insanity, and it's making it really hard for me to get things done. I think I can after you showed yours. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I can just hold up the bag. Here's one. The colors are washed out, unfortunately, but and then these guys you can kind of see. There's a blue gradient and a pink, and then a green. This is like a muted rainbow. And then everybody's favorite rocket pop. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it, and I would say that it is definitely easier to do when it is cooler because the upstairs in my house was steamy when I got done the other day. So I can see why some people do it outside for sure. But yeah, I'm going to rearrange in here this weekend a little bit, and then hopefully next week I'll get back to making more bags. Yeah, the rocket pop. Everybody loves that one. That was my very, very first skein too that I dyed, and I was like so nervous, and it came out great. What else was I saying? I think that was it. But yeah, it's been crazy. My Color Street stuff has been doing really well. For those of you that don't know, I'm a Color Street stylist, so I sell the nail strips. Tori is like addicted to them, but for good reason because they're super fun. Right now, mine are called Hue Do Hue, and I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it's like rainbow on white. This little rainbow slices. They're sweet. But yeah, there's a gazillion of them. But yeah, that's been going really well. I got a bunch of people that joined my Facebook VIP little Color Street group, and I always have a party going, and it's fun. It's fun to have some sort of self-care like that. Right? Well, it's funny because my nails aren't very long, and they really only started to put on length after I started to use them. And I think it's because I don't bite at them because I've got stuff on them. Hi, Mia. Thank you. Yeah, they're really cute. I like these ones. The last ones I had on were white with polka dots and plaid. So I would have like one nail was polka dot and the next was plaid and then the next was polka dot. And, it's fun. And the fact that they're basically dry is like so convenient. I love it. But so I'm really enjoying actually being a stylist and having a little group and finding the fun pictures. And, every Monday I run a giveaway for people's manicures and stuff. So it's fun. Whatever. I enjoy it. Yeah, Tori said that, and that's true because her nails are short too. So she can get 2 nails off one strip. So her nail sets last twice as long. Work. Yeah, I know a lot of places have that. My girlfriend, also in Massachusetts, she, her job also, she's not allowed to wear. Mia, no, that's fine. You found me recently and you're obsessed. No, I don't think it's creepy. You can like me. It's fun. Just don't stalk me or anything. Diet cherry 7-Up. Do you guys have these? This is like that drink. That's what that is. That is, I don't feel like getting up in an hour and getting another drink, so I'm just going to pour 6 hours worth of beverage at once. Massage therapist. Oh, I bet that comes in handy for your loved ones. But yeah, so the nails are fun. I enjoy it. If anybody ever is interested in it, just find me on Facebook. I think my links are. I don't know if it's in this. It's not in the description box of this yet. I'll put it in later. But you can find me on there, and I can just let me know you want to join the group, and I'll throw you in there. It's fun. Or if anybody wants whatever samples, send me a message or whatever. 32-ounce Bubba Cup. There you go, right? Because sometimes you get comfortable and you don't want to get up. My all-time favorite yarn. Well, I think that's hard because there's different types of yarn. You know, there's craft store yarn, which is the stuff that you're going to use most of the time. And I would say for that, my favorite is Red Heart Unforgettable. For like hand-dyed yarn, my favorite is Expression Fiber Arts. No, like hands down, her pearlescent fingering yarn is to die for. Yeah, oh yeah, so that you found me through Expression Fiber Arts. Yeah, that is my favorite hand-dyed yarn. Shandy's great. She's so sweet. And then as far as cake yarn, I would say Waltram is I really love Waltram. Mandala, yeah. Mandala's good. I haven't used a lot of Mandala. Mandala. How does everybody else say it? What is Waltram? Waltram it's like lace weight. Well, you can get it in different plies, honestly, but I always get it as like a lace weight. And it's basically, it's like embroidery floss, honestly. You get like 3 strands of embroidery floss. And they spin it almost to order, but they tie in one super thin thread at a time, and it creates these color gradients. Who sells it? I get it on Etsy from, gosh, what is the name of the shop? You know what? I don't remember the name of the shop off the top of my hand. Top of my head. But what I'll do is tomorrow I will edit the description box, and I'll make sure that a link is in there. But it's an Etsy shop, and she's in Connecticut, and she always keeps some stock of ready to ship, so it's just there, and you get it the way it is. But you can also order custom, and they'll spin it for you. And I think I want to say it's spun in like Switzerland, maybe, and then they ship it to her, and then she ships it to you. So it can take, if you don't get a ready to ship one, it can take 2-3 weeks to get it. And it varies in price depending upon how much yardage you want and how many plies you want it to be. But the sheer volume of choices can be overwhelming, but it is gorgeous. It makes beautiful stuff. But you know what? Hold on, guys. I'll show you. I made a shawl. For those of you that haven't seen my review of the Lucia shawl, I'll show you the shawl that I made with Waltram. You guys can see my jammies. My top is not a jammy, though. Okay. So that's the Lucia shawl that I made with 3-ply Waltram, 1 cake, and I had a little bit left over, but it wasn't enough to. I was playing yarn chicken. Yeah. So, and that's how. Thank you. Yeah, Crafty Bones. It is super pretty. This particular colorway is called Mamma Mia. I love shawls too. I'm like a shawl-aholic. If I could probably only make shawls and be okay. But I love this one. And it is, the drape is beautiful. It's not soft, like it's not squishy, um, but it's not scratchy at all either. It's nice. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, everybody. That's so sweet of you. I do love this shawl, and I love this pattern. I love this shawl designer too. She's fantastic. Um, but yeah, the colors are a little bit washed out, but they're definitely pretty. And it comes with those colors. That's how it comes. It's all in the cake in that gradient, you know. I do wear my shawls, Cynthia. I do. Um, I I work from home. We own our own business. The pattern is called the Lucia shawl. There is actually a video on my channel where I reviewed the pattern and talk about the pattern and talk about the yarn. I might actually even have the link to the Etsy shop in that description box too. But there's like heartwarming story behind these patterns too. Yeah, Tori's answering you. I do wear my shawls. But what I was saying is I work from home, and so nobody sees me. And so there are days where I'm just gonna, keeping it real. It does match my glasses. Um, there are days where I get busy first thing in the morning, and I work in my pajamas until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is amazing with this yarn. It really has a great stitch definition, and it's beautiful. But you wear yours too. Yeah, I don't see people wear them. I've worn this particular one to the farmer's market a few times. And I've worn it both as a shawl, and I have worn it. I haven't even, look at guys, like I'm so lazy. I haven't even it's just out. I don't care, whatever. I just wear it. It is not a bad life, but it does mean that I don't have the opportunity to really, see anybody or impress anybody. So I do wear them, which really means that I wear them for me because nobody else sees me but my husband. But so I've worn them as shawls. I've also worn it up, if I was chilly, because honestly, this is really lightweight yarn, but there's enough shawl here that it still will give you a little bit of, you've got a little bit of a chill going. You can just throw that on and it still will give you a little bit of, cozy. So I've worn them like that. And then I have a virus shawl that I wear around the house. So yeah, but no, it's not a bad life. No, I don't think people do have an idea how much work it is. I made Tori a, what the hell, Lost Soul shawl. And I know she knows how much work went into it. I didn't mean that to sound that way. And that, man, that is a pattern for other people. I don't know. I like the first couple skulls as they developed. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And by the third row, I detested that pattern. And I know bunches of other people just love it. I think it's just really what trips your trigger might not be the same as what trips mine, but this pattern in particular is beautiful. I did make this same pattern in Unforgettable for one of my girlfriends. So I've made this particular shawl a couple times. I think that I've had a couple people ask me if I would do a tutorial for it. I don't know that I could do a tutorial because, the pattern designer has a tutorial. So I don't know that she would allow that. But the skull's cracked out. Yeah, she wore it for a quick drive to keep the car alive. Skull's cracked her up. So I made my aunt one in purple and red for her red pattern. Made her a what? A Lost Soul shawl, Cynthia? Crochet, but I keep failing as a knitter. Yeah, I am also struggling as a knitter. Well, here's the thing, Crafty Bones. You may really like it. I found the counting didn't work for me because for whatever reason, I guess I'm too distracted for that level of counting, but counting doesn't bother me on other, like I had no problems with this. And I find, you got to count, but that one, there's like a large enough row repeat that I kept, like, I found myself strapped to the pattern, and that really bugs me. So I would say don't not try it. Like if you wanted to try it, I would say definitely try it. But if you aren't loving it shortly after you start, maybe just make like a kerchief one. You know what I mean? So that you aren't sucked in, because I mean, Tori's is like massively wide, and I used a twister cake, and I was like, there's no way. This thing is going to be the size of a Mack truck if I use the whole twister cake. It was ridiculous. Oh, you're a knitter, Deborah, so it's hard for you to crochet. Oh yeah, Tori can't knit either. Blanket pattern. Yeah, blanket pattern. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you should definitely give it a go. I mean, you could try, like, maybe try a small scale, and like I said, like maybe plan on a kerchief one and see if you like it. And then if you like it, just keep going. Crochet to be more enjoyable and easier. Well, I basically want to knit so that I can knit those Expression Fiber Arts shawls, because there are some that are so beautiful. And there's other patterns I'm sure I will come across that I will think are just beautiful. Like I would love to knit a sweater. I think that would be really fun. To tat. I actually have a tatting thing, and I have the stuff, and I really was struggling with it. I think my grandmother and my aunt used to tat. I have a couple actually pieces that I got from my aunt's house that were tatted. Made lost stitches. Yeah. So I don't know, but I have those new knitting needles coming, and I think that might be helpful, because I have one set of circulars, but they're not the wrong size for most of what I want to do. So the circulars work better. So I got a set of interchangeables, and I think that will help. And then I also got Tracy of Crochet Rossetti. You should check her out. I'll put her link in the description box too. She had recommended a knitting book, and it was like the complete photo guide to knitting or something. And I found it used on Amazon for like $2.50 plus like $3 shipping. So I was like, well, you can't really go wrong with that. And it's in beautiful condition. And so I ordered it, and it came in, and I think it's going to be helpful, because it'll just be a little bit easier than trying to constantly rewind videos to see, you know what I mean? You can kind of see still in the picture. That I think will work for me. I know that doesn't always work for everybody. Not everybody learns well that way, but I think it will be okay for me. So I'm going to try that. And I'm hoping between those two things, it gets a little bit easier. From Blueprint Craftsy. Yeah, I have a Craftsy account too. I guess that's not going away now. So that's good. Knit a sweater. Yeah, I love like the sweater. Do you guys watch Chevy Rell? She cracks me up, man. I like want to be Chevy. But how to knit a scarf. Done with it. Yeah, she's great. I love her. She makes me laugh all the time. But she's been making sweaters, and I like look at them, and I'm like, they're just amazing. Also, there was somebody else. It wasn't Zach at the Stout Stitch, because maybe it was him. Does he also knit? Oh, guys, it's so hard now. Like my subs are better subs than I'm a sub, because I cannot keep all of the channels straight, and I cannot keep up with all the channels that I want to too. I always feel like I'm like a week behind. Anybody know Jane at Scraptastic Yarns? How is she doing? Can't make your sleeves match. Yeah, I just can't keep people straight, and it's a bummer. Yeah, Jane at Scraptastic Yarns, she got ill a couple weeks ago and she went in for a COVID test and it came back negative. But she was saying that she she was really not feeling good. And she was having like horrible coughing fits and like that was like leaving her gasping for air. And so she wasn't sure, but I think maybe she had a video come out the other day. And I mean, she's made a few videos during it, so hopefully she's feeling well enough that she can at least make a video, you know. But I know she had to go out a lot. And she always wears a mask, you know, but that's the scary thing. That's why, you know, Miss Mammogram right here was just like, oh my God. Like, I haven't left my house in 4 freaking months, basically. And like, now I'm here doing this, like putting all of that in jeopardy so that you can squash my boobs. And, you know, like, I don't know what kind of sick masochistic thing I had today, but that's kind of how I felt. Week or 2 behind. Jane says she's doing better, but still coughing. Oh, Judy, I'm glad. Thank you. Hey, Rosalie. I'm glad that somebody knew how she was doing. It is the sacrifice you make for health. I know it, right? And that girl today, man, like I said, she was very skilled. She was very nice. She didn't really hurt me anymore. Then it's just uncomfortable, you know, for those of you that have had them. But man, she was determined that she was going to get as much of like the like tissue from like my chest wall under that paddle as well. And it was like, at one point I kind of wanted to say like, lady, like part of this is actually like my chest. It's not my breast. I understand. And I do totally get it because I don't know, it's probably TMI, but whatever. Depending on where I am in my cycle, I actually get like a lump in my armpit. And I've had it looked at like 4 times. I've had it ultrasound at least 3 times. My doctor, the last time it happened. Thank you, Rosalie. It's my Anna Lucia shawl. We were talking about favorite yarns, and I was saying that I had made this one with Waltram, which is my favorite cake yarn. Yeah, I don't know if my insurance pays for that yet. I got to look into that, but it doesn't bother me that much. But yeah, so I get a lump in my armpit and I've had it looked at, and because it actually gets sore and it's like uncomfortable, and they've looked and there's nothing there. And they're like, no, it's just like basically breast tissue that like is actually that far back, like in my armpit. And when you're in your cycle, if your breasts get tender, then that's kind of what that is. But the hormones make it puff up. I don't know. It's some sort of weird thing. I am vigilant about it. I always watch it. Yeah, Rosalie, it's called Waltram. I get it from an independent seller on Etsy, and it's lightweight lace weight fingering, but you can get multiple different numbers of plies, and it's beautiful yarn. It's not squishy soft, but it is soft. It's nice. I really enjoy it. Night, honey. I love you. My daughter was on, for those of you who didn't know. So she actually just sent me a message. She's going to sleep. Yeah, it's like almost 10:30 here. I think it is cotton. You know what? Hold on for 1 second. I'm going to walk away from my screen. I'm going to get it, and I will. It's called the Anna Lucia shawl, Rosalie. There's a video on my channel that is my review of the pattern. Wilmer Westenberg designed it. But hold on, let me see. I'm going to go get a thing of Waltram, show it to you guys, and let me see if I can get the specs. I know you all really just wanted to see my jammies again. So this particular cake is a little bit smaller than the one that I made that shawl out of. You can kind of see the blues in there. And this is like the label. This is My Melody by Waltrom. And it is 50% wool, 50% acrylic, it says. This particular one is 200 grams, 760 meters. Oh, here's the website. Hey, I found the website, guys. It's www.melody, MELODY, 2 Y's, by, BY, and then Waltrom, WOLLTRAUM.etsy.com. I'll make sure it's in the description box. But this is what it's like. This is how it comes. She has ready to ships. And then if you want specific colors that are not in ready to ship, then she actually has to order it from the factory, and then they spin it for you and you get it. And she will work with people on custom colorways as well. Let's see. For those of you that watch Natalie at Natalie's Closet, she recently got a cake of yarn from her. I actually had told her about it, and she went and checked it out and got one, and she's making, I think, a shawl out of it. It's beautiful, beautiful in a shawl. It really works well. If they don't get all the tissue, double round shot. Ugh. Oh, that sounds awful. Oh, you're allergic to wool? I wonder if she has she might have stuff on there that isn't wool. I don't know. But it's actually also hard to tell because it's not in English. But it says Baumwolle, BAUMWOLLE, 50% Baumwolle and 50% acryl. So I'm assuming that's wool and acrylic, but I could be wrong. You're welcome, Mia. But it is pretty. Yes, Wilma is an amazing designer, isn't she, Crystal? She has so many great patterns. But so those of you that don't know, and I mentioned it in my video where I reviewed this pattern, this is called the Ana Lucia shawl. And Wilma has a I don't want to say it's a birth defect, but she has a disease. Yeah, it's not a birth defect. It's like a disease, but it's like a tumor in her cheek. She has some on Amazon. Wilma does. The Waltrom. That's cool. But Wilma has like a tumor in her cheek, and she didn't find out until she was an adult, and she finally got diagnosed that it's a super rare condition. And so she has found other people around the world that have it, and she's found numerous little girls. And so when she meets one, she designs a pattern and names it after them. And she's traveled to all the places, like she's traveled to South America, and I think she's in Denmark, maybe. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. But anyways, she's traveled, and then she meets them, and then she puts out these shawls named after the little girls that have the same condition she has. And when I did my review, I got all weepy about it because it's just lovely, and I still think it's just lovely. So I actually have, and she has this pattern for free on her website. And then she also has a paid version with, like, I think there's just, pictures or whatever. I did the paid version because it was not expensive, and I know that it helps to fund her to do these things, to go and meet these children and stuff. And I think that that's great. So I always spend a couple bucks on her patterns. And when I know that there's one that I like enough that I'll make it, and it's part of that, it's named after the kids, then I buy it so that it can support her. So that is the nice story behind the patterns for some of Wilma's stuff. But anyways, do you guys have like favorite shawl designers? I just banged my computer, sorry. Look at my pictures are crooked. Oh, it looks like my wall is buckled. It's not. That's actually my design wall. That's a piece of felt on the wall behind those pictures. For those of you that don't sew, design wall, felt, fabric sticks to felt. So you can put a piece of felt on your wall, and then when you finish a quilt block, when you're trying to position them, you can just stick it on the felt and it will kind of stay there. Yeah, Expression Fiber Arts patterns. Her patterns are, the stuff they come out with is beautiful. Kathleen Lashley's. I've never heard of her. See, this is good for me because now I can go check these people out. I'm a shawlaholic. Wilma, Fiber Spider. I feel like I'm missing out on something with Fiber Spider. I don't watch Fiber Spider, and I hear people mention a lot. And there's like so many channels I want to watch, but how many channels can people actually follow? I guess that just speaks to the fact that, we have a really large community that's really cool. Which, that's always nice. But it's Granny Squared. Southern Diamond Shawl by Kathy Lashley. I will. A bag a day. She's got a lot. I bought some of her patterns. I know she has tutorials, but I try, what is it, $10? Throw $10 at somebody's Etsy shop or whatever. Patterns especially. And don't forget, guys, if you're looking for a hat pattern, I just put one out. You can go check it out. It's free. There's a free tutorial and free downloads. You can get it on Ravelry, and there's also a Google Docs link or something like that. I don't know. You should be able to download it. But I know that Jane had told me that if you aren't a member of Ravelry, you can't download from Ravelry anymore. So I made sure to have an alternate for folks that aren't on Ravelry. Different strokes. Patterns take a lot of time. They do. They do actually take a lot of time. A lot of time and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5th and a 6th one downstairs. This was all just trying to make my pattern. One pattern. Are you kidding me? But it's the time in making sure, like, took longer than the writing it. Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. I get a lot from the community, so I figured my very first pattern, I would make that. You do! Chris, I forgot you were here. I hadn't seen you. I'm trying to keep up, but I don't always. You do. Chris tested the pattern for me. She was nice enough. She is an OG, man. She's been here since the beginning. Oh, yeah, you had a goal to design one? I don't know what got into me about. I said it last time on my last live too. Sometimes I get I think I get a little big for my britches, and I decide I'm just do something. But I guess it's just what I do. Amigurumi. Oh, long day. How are you doing? You and your daughter still doing okay? No lasting effects? Too nervous of your mistakes? Well, no, that's why you get a tester, or a couple testers. It's not a big deal. I mean, I think when you agree to be a tester, you realize that you have to give feedback, and sometimes it's just like something happens. Like Ryan, from Yarn Hag Ryan, you guys all know Ryan. She designed that shawl, the hag shawl that's coming out, and a bunch of us have offered to test it. And Anu Crochet, yes, she's adorable. Changing my patterns. Yes, Deborah, I hear that about the garden. Like, ours has been doing really well. I actually have like 3 enormous fennels. Health troubles with Paul. Oh, no. I'll keep you in my thoughts. I hope all goes well. I have to go to the doctor's next week for blood work. 2 there, really different. Well, you got to settle on one, or just settle on one and then write the next one down too, and then you have a second pattern. You could end up being really prolific that way. But yeah, I just take it into my head to do something and then I do it. And that's how I've learned to do like almost everything I've done. It's just, well, that looks like fun. I think I'll do that. And then I do that. And it takes a while. But anyways, what was I saying? Ryan. Yeah, Ryan is has the shawl coming out and it's gonna, you guys are gonna love it. It's beautiful. But there was definitely like Sandy was here last live and she had made mention of it. The last stitch was just not working out right with it's not that it wasn't working out right, it's that it was difficult. It was hard to find it kind of. And so, I talked to Ryan about it because I'm going to be doing a tutorial for you guys on it. I don't think that I'm supposed to keep that secret. So, yeah. And then I talked to her about it and she was like, oh yeah, oh no, that makes total sense. And so she actually made a little tweak in the pattern and I think it's just going to make it easier for everybody. 13 Baby Yoda, the child dolls. Okay. So, I think that's the pattern I have that I'm going to make. And I've decided I'm going to hold off until fall. I think that's going to be a fall project is my Baby Yoda. I love Baby Yoda. He's so damn cute. All the little things. I love little things. It's like, I don't know what it is, but if it's little, it cracks me up. Little things. Yeah. Definitely fun. I actually got Disney Plus when COVID started because I was like, okay, if this is going on, then I want to have access to every Disney movie I've ever seen for like the numbing effect of a Disney movie. And I have put that to use. I'll tell you that. Yeah, just write them down and get a tester or two. It'll be easy. It'll be fine. You can do it. I'm all about everybody can do it. Mulan. Yes, I like Mulan too. I really like Moana. And I've been catching up on all the movies that they made since Tori was little that I didn't see. So I like Frozen. I like Frozen 2 better than Frozen. I know that is kind of controversial, I think. I like Moana. I love Coco. Yeah, I saw it's going to be live action. I got, what else? Oh, Pixar stuff. I really liked Onward. That was good. But Inside Out, I think it's called, that is my favorite one that I've watched. I watched about half of Hamilton. It was great. Yes, the part that I saw. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. I still haven't tried the nail polish yet. Oh my goodness, I promise I'll try it. It's all right, Rosalie. I hope you enjoy it. I love mine. Me too. Frozen 2 was much better. I really enjoyed it. I liked Olaf, and Olaf was in more of the second one. Isn't that terrible? Like, the sidekicks are always my favorite part of the Disney movies. Oh, yeah, see, I didn't see it live. I just saw it on Disney Plus, and I only got a chance to see half of it. But I watch things like that when I'm in this room, like working and sewing and stuff. And I started, and then I realized that was really something I needed to stop and watch. I couldn't like have that on. Much like that Lock Rise to Candleford that I had been so busy. Well, is that good or bad, Rosalie? Are you happy about being busy or not? But I hear you because it has been nonstop. The bags, and here's the thing, like I know that there aren't a lot on the shop yet, but it's just been like, see it again one day. Yeah, I hope to see it live one day at all. But I have like a notebook full of different designs that are sketched out and then decided, no, that's not going to work. And so that has just been like consuming. And then the whole nails thing, that's what Rosalie is talking about. I sent her a set of Color Street nail strips to try. And she hasn't had a chance to try them yet. But yeah, I love them. But that's been super busy. I did see that. Congratulations. I'm sorry, I forgot to congratulate you. I had liked your post about it. Rosalie finally hit her 4,000 watch hours. I'm so far from that. I can't even believe. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to reach it. And I'm going to hit my anniversary in 2 months. It's no way. I need like 3,000 watch hours. It's not going to happen. I know you've been working hard on that. Yeah, someday I'll get there. It's good stuff. I think everybody should just immediately monetize on YouTube. That's how I think it should be. But I guess not. They're going to make us do the stuff. They're going to make us actually appeal to you guys. Oh, so when you open, or I shouldn't say when you open your YouTube channel, we all have YouTube channels. When you start actively putting videos up, yeah, 10 months in, I hear you. Crafty, you know what I do? I actually just did this for Reggie at J-Hook. I put her on my computer because I have a desktop with 2 screens, and actually we're replacing our computers and I'll have 3 screens soon. What we do for work, it just makes life much easier. I design HVAC systems, so I have AutoCAD running, and then I also have other, programs running and stuff, but load software and stuff. But anyways, I take that second computer that second monitor if I'm not using it, and I just put somebody's playlist on it, and I just let it play. And I let Reggie's play for like, I don't know, 24 hours or something, or 36 hours. It was good. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Yeah, you just like let those playlists run. And because it's a desktop, I don't worry about it like overheating or anything. So I try to do that for folks I know need it. But anyways, when you start putting up videos, in order to monetize, which means that you get paid when people, for the ad, you get a portion of the ad revenue from your video. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have had 4,000 hours of content that's been watched. And you do not get a dime until that happens. So when people say, I really need watch hours, that's what they're talking about. And what happens, I think I have this right. I mean, you guys correct me, you guys that know, correct me if I'm wrong. But once you hit a year, like the watch hours, because it has to be within 1 year as well. Like the watch hours, my first month that I had, those no longer count towards my total because that's more than a year. So every month that you go beyond that first year, you like lose a month from the front end, I believe that's the way it goes. I don't think it's cumulative after a year. I think you lose what you got the first, which probably it's not going to be a big deal for me. I've like had no real watch hours or anything right in the very beginning, but even still, every watch hour is hard won on YouTube. So, but anyways, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I love my channel, and I don't think I'm ever going to get rich doing it. That's for sure. There ain't never going to be no 500,000 people watching me like Crystal has. God love her. And that's okay. Oh, Julie, good night. You enjoy. I'm so grateful that you stayed, hung out. Me, I will now watch every ad. Well, every ad that you watch on somebody who's monetized, they will appreciate it. Yeah, even just letting it run. That is what it's about. And the thing is that it's not that well, for me anyways, I can't speak for anybody else, but YouTube isn't hard work. I mean, it's nice to chat with people and have fun and make friends and, but if you edit your videos, it can eat time, it can take a lot of time. Like the sewing tutorial I put out the other day on that pin cushion. Yeah, nice distraction. Exactly. But like that pin cushion, and I don't mind doing it. So this is not a complaint. I don't like, that's not what I'm trying to say, but it's, editing can eat time. I mean, that video went out. It's not perfect. There's mistakes in it. I saw it after it went out, but it is what it is. But, I spent like 6 hours editing because there was like 3 hours of footage there. So you have to get it down to a a length that people will even consider watching. That's all. And, 45 minutes for a sewing tutorial, I figure that's not too bad because people are going to refer to it multiple times. And I'm pretty confident of that because that's how I learned to sew. And I just referred to that, and I would save a video in a playlist, and I would just keep going back to it. And that's how I learn things. I actually still have sewing tutorial videos saved that I still refer to on binding. Rosalie, right? Editing takes a long time depending upon the thing. Like this live, this is a treat, man. But I also know that all of my ums and ahs and my forgetting what I'm saying and like all of that's going to be in it. My crooked frames, the mess that is. Oh, look I still have Bob is still out from Christmas and July fairies. Like, you ain't hiding nothing on a live, that's for sure. I was a little bit hesitant to do it, but honestly, it's fun. And now what I need to do is I need to hit up Granny D to give me. Yeah, I had thought about doing multiple parts, but I thought of it after I filmed it. And so I think if you're going to do that, you kind of have to have that built in beforehand. That's enough time. Yeah. It's just human nature, but yeah, I really I'm enjoying doing the live. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to hit up Granny D because I know Julie told me that Granny D knows everybody's schedule for who's going live when. Exponentially because I don't film all 32 rows that are the same day. So exactly, that's the thing. Exactly, ahs and ums all the time. But see, it's that, I'm going to panic because I don't know I can't find the word. Yeah. So now I'm going to laugh every time I say for a while. Mess stuff up. Constantly. So I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing that tutorial for Ryan. And it is super fast. No way to avoid. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I figured if I hit up Granny D, I could at least come up with something that was hopefully not, stepping on anybody else's toes. And I kind of feel like I really need to get it scheduled for it's going to be a certain day, certain time, and certain frequency so that people know, because so many people are like, I missed your live. And then they think they're missing out on something. And I don't know, maybe they are, but they'll catch one sometime. But if I have it more scheduled, I guess it would be easier for my viewers. You do you. Just LOL and scared the dog. Yeah, so we're gonna figure that out. But it's been fun to do the lives, and that's cool. And so what was I saying? See, that's what I'm talking about. I can edit all that crap out. So I'm doing that tutorial for Ryan's pattern, and I filmed it the other night, and I filmed it 6 times, beginning to end, 6 times. And I mean, it's not long, because it's a fabulously easy pattern. She really did such an amazing job creating this great thing. So I just do it when I do it. Okay, well, then that's good to know. Thanks, Rosalie. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of real here. I'm hoping. So I've been up and down through this whole COVID thing. I think all of us have been, really. And finally today, because I was going into the doctor for my knees, I was like, dude, you know what? It's time for you to give me some medication. I need to be medicating myself a little bit through all this. It has been like a fire hose of refuse to the face since January, if not before. Like, it has been relentless for so long, and I just need a break. And he was like, well, are you overwhelming yourself with? And I was like, no, but the world is a freaking mess. And he says to me, he goes, what makes you say that? As we're both standing there in our mask, he was totally like being cheeky, and then he winked at my doctor's pretty cool. He tries to make jokes, and they're terrible. But yeah. So I was like, you need to give me some goods. And I have a prescription for anxiety that I don't like to use. So I take CBD oil, and that really helps me with the anxiety. But I'm thinking perhaps I open multiple windows and hop between the lines. Yeah. I suppose that's really, yeah, be careful with pain. Yeah, exactly. I don't like to take medication, so I don't. The world is a mess, and I am, I guess maybe you would say, like, some people feel like they're empathic personalities. I feel that way, and I get both, like, white hot rage at things that I think are stupid, just stupidity, and just like so sad, so sad. Like, I am daily horrified that 150,000 people have died in the past 5 months. Like, and if I think on it too long, 150,000 families, all in pain. And it's too much. It's just too much. And it's everywhere. It's every country. And it's not just COVID. We're living through the 1918 pandemic and the Great Depression and the 1968 race riots. And I mean, it's a lot. And so, yeah. And so he was like, "Are you sure you're not just stressed out?" I said, "Well, I'm sure I'm stressed out, but I think that I'm actually also, it's a struggle, it's a struggle when the narcissist world." Yes. Like, I feel like our society, sometimes I wonder if we are not a society of like sociopaths. Honestly, like, individually people are fine, but society as a whole, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And it's not just here. I mean, it's just everywhere. An entire family in Detroit. Yeah, like, it just is, you like see that. Thank you, love and hugs. We are all in it together, and it's a lot. And so I find that I can't think on it for too long, or I just take that in, and I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit hippie love child kind of thinking stuff. I know, yes, Judy, exactly. Like, alone, and yeah, and that's why I downloaded Disney Plus, because when this first started and it was like hot and heavy, I couldn't open the news. And I'm a news hound. I'm like a politics news junkie. I have been for quite a while, and I shut it all off. I have watched less news in the last 5 months than I have in the last, I mean, God, it's like years and years. It's been, and I still keep up just enough with what's going on to feel like I'm, informed, because I think that's important. But yeah, it's just, and every time I do leave the house and I see people walking around like there's nothing going on, it breaks my heart, really. It does. And I get angry and sad at the same time. So it's like these battling emotions. And I think that that's what's going on for a lot of people. And my doctor did say, he's like, "I'm going to give you the medication." He's like, "Because I think you do know yourself better than I know you." And he said, "But I also know that you're smart. And if it's not helping you, then maybe we need to look at stress reduction instead of, And so I said, "Well, that seems reasonable to me." So yeah, so I'm going to be all medicated. So I guess maybe I'll be more chipper. Right? I am not a massage person, Mia. It's funny. My girlfriends they love their massages. One of my girlfriends just this week, she's like, "It's been too long since I've had one. My whole body hurts." And I was like, oh, geez. I have never gone in for a massage because I don't like people to touch me. Is that weird? I am not a toucher. My best friend, actually, I was best friends with her for probably 15 years, and she could count on one hand the number of times that I had hugged her. I'm just not a toucher. And having the idea of like a stranger touching me is like, that skeeves me out big time. And so I've never gone in for a massage, because I'm always like, oh, I would hate to be like, to get wigged out and be like, "No, I just don't touch me." And, and I'm not crazy, guys, I promise. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's so great. Told my hubby to not send me to the hospital if I get sick. Oh, Deborah, really? Dave and I talked about it. If we got sick, what we would do. Like, this room would become like the sick room. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't like to be touched either. Yeah, so you don't like to be touched, but you're a massage therapist? Huh. I suppose maybe that actually works out well because you can then understand and respect people that have a hard time with that. I was in a lot of pain, so I won't do it anymore. Yeah. It's not, yeah, I don't even know why it is. I think my mother is a loving person, but she is not a physically loving person, if that makes sense. I don't know. And so I think I just didn't get a lot of hugs and stuff as a kid. I mean, I was loved. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, like every child, I had childhood issues, but or issues with my upbringing, but didn't we all? So, but yeah, she just was not a big hugger. She still isn't, and I think it's because honestly, she gets like overwhelmed with emotion, and so she just like physical emotion or affection is difficult for her because it's overwhelming. So I think it comes from a place where she doesn't like to cry. She doesn't like to be that vulnerable. So we've entered the therapy session of our life. Right, exactly, Mia. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. Like maybe you can understand people that are like, ooh, I don't know about that. No touching. Yeah, my horrible habit of touching you to emphasize something wrong. Oh, yes, like just don't. Tori too. Poor Tori. Like I got a great kid. Um, she as a little kid, kids are at you, they jump on you and stuff. And it used to, she would like jump on me and she would be like up in my face. And it was like, oh, it was just really difficult for me. And I'm like, and so as a little kid, I kind of explained to her, like, that makes mama feel, so maybe, when you want to do that, let me know and come this way or come and sit next to me, but you don't have to be on me, kind of a thing. And so she learned pretty young that, yeah, that was like, ooh, but I will hug her like way more than, she's one of the few people that I'm comfortable. And my poor husband, he's a, don't tell him I told you, but he's a snuggler and I am not. Poor guy. Most women, I think, would give their eye teeth for a husband that wanted to cuddle. And I'm like, dude, this is my space. This is my bubble. I own my bubble. So he's always like, when we first got together, he'd be like, I thought women like guys that like to cuddle. And I'm like, I am not that kind. I can't sleep that way either. Like, I understand why people had separate beds back in the day, if they actually did. Maybe that was just a TV thing. Was that just a Brady Bunch thing, you think? But I get why. Harry, get out of there. Cat is trying to get into the fabric closet. But yeah, so I'm just not that way, but it makes me laugh. Yes, exactly. We have a queen size bed. My husband is, I don't know, 6'1". Leave it to Beaver had separate bed. Even before the Brady Bunch, that's right. Lucy and Ricky, they had separate beds. You know that the love was strong between Lucy and Ricky too. The separate beds was not a comment on their affection. You have separate beds. See, I think, well, maybe more people do than I thought, but we have a queen size bed and he's like 6'1", 6'2", and he is like a ninja. He sleeps like he's a ninja in the middle of a fight. And so there's legs going, and I shit you not, guys, I get elbowed in the head like at least 3 times a night. And I'm always like, stop it. Because he goes to bed before me. So I'll be sitting there like crocheting, watching TV, and he's asleep. And he just like that arm goes, and it's because he's got problems with his shoulder, and it aches on him, and it pulls. So for some reason, he throws it behind him. But when he does, that elbow comes back. He's a bigger guy, and I'm a bigger girl. I mean, I'm fluffy. I take up some space in the bed, and we got a queen size, and I'm like, dude, we need a king size bed so bad. I practically vibrated. You elbow one more time. I swear to God. But I love him, you know. I mean, he can't. He's asleep. He sleeps through it, and then I'm like pushing him, like, no, roll over, and he sleeps through the whole thing. I'm like, I don't know how you do. And then like the next day, sometime he'll be like, I think you might have woken me up last night. I'm like, I bet I did. We were practically brawling. Like, what the hell? Man, I need more sleep than this. And I have wicked bad insomnia right now. 6'4", and I'm almost, oh my God. Knifes himself. Yeah, inches of the bed. One elbow. No, it's the back. He gets the back of my head. And it's not so much like one of these. It's like he just throws it over. So I get like the arm just like lands like on the side of my head. And then, so I'm just like, no. No, thank you. Why can't I see the bra? Right? You can see it, right? Chris is subscribed to our other channel, Okanagan Farm, and I am waiting for the elbow in the eye. And so she knows my husband because that's really the channel that he handles, that channel. And Chris has been here because she lives nearby. But oh yeah, oh man, poor guy. And I was like, waiting. And when we moved in here, sleep better in your room. My daughter at 24 years old told me that if she got married, she thought she would have separate beds. She's a strong-willed kid. She's a good kid, though. My head at the foot to get more space. Yeah, and so the problem is when we moved into this house, so this house that we're in, it is our first house for both of us. And we didn't buy our first house until we were 40. We both had kids young. I got married. Here's a little known fact about me. I got married. I was still in high school, and I wasn't pregnant. I did it for love. Well, yeah, how'd that work out for me? So I had my daughter young. I had her 2 weeks before I turned 21. Depression and anxiety. I swear to God. Yeah, I know, Rosalie. But yeah, so I had my daughter when I was 21, and what was I saying? Gone. Phew. Something about sleep. See, I'm not getting enough sleep. Oh, anyways, we had our kids young, and he had his kids. I had my daughter. So we have a blended family, but so there was never money, you know. I was like really poor, actually, for a long time, and some serious living in poverty going on. And so we didn't buy a house until we were 40, and we bought this house. It's also, we've been together for 15 years, and we've only been married for 4 because there was no money. So we finally grew up and had enough money to buy this house. And so we bought the house, and when we did, we splurged and we bought a bedroom set. And so we have this whole matching set, and now I'm like, this bed sucks. I want a new bed. I want it to be a bigger bed. I want a king-size bed. But we're never going to find a king-size headboard and footboard that matches our set. So he is resistant to that. But I think it's going to happen at some point because I will become homicidal, I think. But yeah, our evening brawl. Yeah. And it's funny because we've completely swapped. It used to be that I used to fall asleep early, and not early, but 11 o'clock, a reasonable time to fall asleep. And he would be up until 2 o'clock in the morning. He just had a different sleep schedule. Sell your set and buy a king, right? I should. But I don't know. Maybe we will. Problem is, I like my set. I just don't like the size of the bed. But I was thinking about, I don't know, about what are they, the purple? Is it called the purple thing? I don't know if that would be any good. But the mattress that's on the bed is starting to get old now, and that doesn't help. So yeah. So amazingly, one of the things that I went to the doctor today, and because my knees have been turning bright red and swelling up, and getting hot anytime that I stand for any length of time. And so I went in to see the doctor, and so he's testing all sorts of things, but I was concerned about arthritis, and he said he doesn't think that's what it is. So, but at any rate, I'm having testing done, so I get the whole pain thing that you were talking about earlier. Anyways, king size doesn't have enough width. Oh, Matt, yeah. I'll have to figure something else out. I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, the bed is we have little brawls. But yeah, we have swapped. And now I am up until like 2 o'clock in the morning every morning, and he's asleep at 11. But I'm kind of hoping that maybe this new antidepressant will make me sleepy. I think I know somebody that took it, and it would help them sleep at night. King sizes are longer. You know what though? But when like we went on vacation and we had a king, it wasn't an extended king. It wasn't like a California. It was just a king. There was way more room width-wise too, because I actually could I could put both of my arms down. So taking fish oil. I take fish oil, yeah, and I soak. I do actually soak my feet in Epsom salt. But yeah, my doctor, he was like, that's weird that that's going on. He's like, that doesn't fit into anything that I would think could be an issue. However, he was happy with my blood pressure. He didn't think that it would be any sort of a blood pressure issue. He didn't think, knees. He didn't think that it was a circulation issue on my legs, because he said that, circulation issues are normally really, really painful. And I'm not having that kind of pain. It's just uncomfortable because it's hot. And my knees do swell up. So, I mean, my knees are hurt, but he did something. He moved my joints, and he like pushed on one spot on my knee, and I just burst into tears. It was terrible. So, but he doesn't think that's what it is. He said it almost seems like a repetitive motion thing. And I was like, well, doc, I got to be able to stand up. I mean, how repetitive is that, for God's sakes? And he said, well, yeah, he said, we got to do some testing. So we're going to have some blood tests, and he's going to test for all the inflammation markers and all of my electrolytes and vitamin levels. And he's going to test for Lyme. And good God, everybody, please send me wishes that it's not Lyme. Eucalyptus, yeah. For my knees? Oh, Rosalie, I can't even. He said he doesn't think that's what it is. He said the joints are moving well, like there doesn't, and it's been going on, like, I haven't said much until recently, but it's been going on for like 3 months. Every time I stand up for like 20 minutes or longer. I get up to make dinner. Within 15 minutes, my knees are like fiery hot, bright red, and swollen. And so, yeah, I have bad knees anyway, but this is something that's new. So, yeah, a lot of inflammation. Yeah, it's funny because it was almost like, this is a puzzle. It was almost like the vibe I was getting from him. So I'm kind of hoping he wants to solve it, I have not tried wrapping them. I wasn't sure, like, could this be a circulation thing? Could this, I really didn't know. And that's part of the reason that I don't have more bags, is because I was afraid that if it was arthritis, that the standing, so that they were getting so inflamed, was doing damage. So I was trying to like stand at the cutting table and cut like several bags as fast as I could at one time, and then go and sit for a while. So I'm hoping now that, he did say that he doesn't think it's that. He's going to test for everything. And then, we'll kind of go from there. But he did say that he did not, looking at my knees, feeling them, knowing what's going on all down there, because I also, my legs look reddish when it happens too. Like my legs, they don't get super swollen or anything, but they sometimes look flush. So I was like, oh, is this, circulation thing? And he said he doesn't think it is. And he said, knowing all that, he does not feel like there's any sort of medical crisis or emergency, that he would immediately be like, oh, we need to, yeah, he's going to check all of my markers, Rosalie. And he said he was still going to check for any sort of rheumatoid markers that I guess they can look at for that. And that I was appreciative of that, because even though he doesn't think that's what it is, he's still going to check it, because he knows that he will need to send me to a specialist for, if certain things come back. I guess sometimes maybe they might tingle, but not. I don't think I would say that that's something that happens a lot. My thighs go numb, but my left thigh has been numb for like 18 years. And I had a doctor once tell me they thought it was just a pinched nerve. So I just kind of blew that off. But yeah, so he is at least going to look into everything, and then we'll look. And I'm just like, I don't want arthritis, but I also really don't want Lyme. Man, I do not want Lyme. Like, I know too many people with chronic Lyme, and it is not cool. You get itchy. Yeah, and so he said that with it happening for as long as it's been happening every time, he didn't, but he's going to be looking at all sorts of markers for all sorts of things, and I'll mention it to him because we're going to talk. But I think he's also thinking that would be like a lot of things. He's like, it would be weird for it to be in both knees. He's like, at first I might think bursitis, but he said that the way the inflammation feels, like when he moves my joints, that the inflammation that he feels like repetitive motion kind of inflammation. Good night, Tammy. Thanks for hanging. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, he's checking, Rosalie. He knows, because I actually have an aunt with rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, both knees. And so he's like, I might think bursitis. He goes, but it's both of your knees. He said, and that's not, that's the weird thing, is that it's both of them. So yeah, but I also have custom orthotics, and my sneakers are really worn out that I wear them in, and I have to wear them because I have flat feet, and I have, I overpronate, and I'm just telling you guys all my weirdness, but so I had to get them because I have, I have that tendon thing, the posterior, whatever, the tendon around my ankle gets stretched out and swells up. So I have these special orthotics. Yeah, they're doing it. Our numbers have been low. We were one of only 2 states that our numbers were going down, although we are starting to see an uptick a little bit. So they are doing that right now, but they are still offering like televisits, and that's probably what we'll do next, because he doesn't need to like physically examine my knees to, go over results with me. But I'm in New Hampshire. Rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, I do. Your husband's from Mass. Where is he from? Oh, he's from Boston. I'm from, you could tell him I'm from Haverhill, or Bradford, right outside Haverhill. So, and most people see it and call it Haverhill, but no, it's Haverhill. But yeah, so, and that's the thing about our area. So I'm just praying it's not Lyme, because New Hampshire's like one of the highest incidents of Lyme in the country, if not the highest. So, and I know too many people that are actually disabled from chronic Lyme, like hardcore physical problems. So I'm really hoping not. Plantar fasciitis. Oh, plantar fasciitis sucks. I had that once. But yeah, so my sneakers are worn out. So he and I both decided that it might be a good idea as well to replace my sneakers. Because I don't know if the fact that my sneakers being worn out, my orthotics are maybe holding my feet in a weird place that are affecting my legs. Oh, Michigan, yeah. East Billerica. Billerica. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're going to try new shoes. That was something else he thought, it wouldn't hurt to try. So, because it's a foot thing and a leg thing. But yeah, I'm hoping it's not. I mean, I have uncles that have blood clots in their legs. So, I have a family history there. I also have a family history of rheumatoid arthritis. So I definitely felt like it was time to get it checked, and he's going to be on it. But yeah, I got to go next week and get that blood drawn. Every 6 months. My doctor told me that mine were good for a couple years. But maybe I'm going to need them more often. I don't know. Maybe being, maybe being fat makes it not go as long. Got to go to Demula's. Yeah, get the Poland ice. The water. I got to go to Demula's. Yeah, it's been a while. They don't call it Demula's anymore. They call it Market Basket. Well, they probably still call it Demula's in Boston. But yeah, it's Market Basket pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, for sure. I actually have done, because I had a mystery stomach ailment for a while. And I've done multiple elimination diets and stuff, and I have fixed really my digestive system through different ways of eating and stuff. But yeah, I think that's like the number one thing is nutrition. Food as medicine is important. That's one of the reasons we have the garden that we have. But yeah, the Demula's. So do you guys, wait a minute, Crafty, did you tell me where you are? You have Packies out there? Got to go to the Packy. This is probably not funny for any of you that aren't from Mass. Oh, yeah. No. You don't go to Market Basket the day before Thanksgiving. Are you nuts? Oh, yeah. No way. No way. That is asking for like a stroke. That's so awful. I mean, I don't like to go into any store before the day before Thanksgiving, but Market Basket in particular, because they don't leave you enough room in their aisles for the two damn carts. So as the carts are coming, and and then they got the extra thing in the middle, and then you can't get the carts back by each other. So and then everybody's cranky. The older folks do call it Demula's. It's Demula's. Yeah, it's the grocery store we're talking about, guys. The Market Basket. Demula's. Up in New Hampshire, we have some Market Baskets, but mostly we have Hannaford's. Yeah, well, no. Well, the Market Baskets up here, we don't have the sawdust. The Mass Talk, right? Well, Chris, you live close enough that Yeah, oh man, I get into a room with my family. Oh, but that's one of the reasons I love watching Crochet Rossetti. Is she literally, when she talks, it sounds like home. And I mean, I'm like all of an hour max away from where I was born, but the Mass is strong in me. And I think that it's because my family actually immigrated to the US into Mass and never left. I do genealogy, and I have ancestors that settled Essex County, Mass, the different towns, Newburyport and Groveland. I don't know, Crafty Bones, if your husband knows of Groveland, but my family were the Packers. The Packers from Groveland. They had Packers Corner. Gigantic mass hole. And lived there for 30 years, man. Once a mass hole, always a mass hole. I tell you what, man, I live in New Hampshire. I lived here for so long. Oh, good night, Cynthia. Thank you for coming. I have lived in New Hampshire for so long that I'm not fully mass hole anymore. But New Hampshire will never accept me the way, because I'm a mass hole. You have a good one too, Mia. All right, guys, I think we should all wrap it up. It's getting late here. It's 11:15. So thank you for hanging out with me. And I will see you guys soon. Watch for that tutorial that's coming. I think you guys are going to love it. Chris, I'm glad everything's okay with you guys. And I'll keep Paul in my thoughts. Well, you guys, I mean you and your daughter. Hey, Deborah. Thank you for coming. Good night, Rosalie. This was a wicked good night. It was pissa. It was wicked pissa. Tell your masshole husband I said, salutations. Good night, Judy. I'm glad you caught me too. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye, guys.